Test, test, test. We're good. Stuff. Camera catching me in frame. Perfect. All right. Bruce, do you mind check out on YouTube just to see if anyone's mentioning anything about the audio? Well, what's up, brother? Every time I see you, I think of like, my mind goes to China. I'm gonna put one of these here just in case. And I'll mix this one around here.
I have a good lesson.
Okay. All right. Always down for some lessons. Okay. Super sorry that I'm running late today. I trying to get into a routine of like hitting the gym before the Saturday meetups. And my trainer has other plans apparently, and I get super tired and I start falling behind. But a lot of new faces. We still have a lot more people coming in. The stream should be going. For anyone that's wondering what this camera does, you're not on camera. It's just so people that can't make it can watch via stream. If anybody has questions on there, we should be able to see right here, and I'll answer them. Or if I somehow miss them, Bruce, or if any of you see a question come in, or even better, if somebody says something inappropriate, let me know so I can get it removed. All right, I'm Carlos, for those of you who don't know me. This is our Wizards of Ecom meetup group. We're a little over 1,600 meetup events now, over pushing 12 years of hosting these. It's the highlight of my week. I love hanging out with you guys and doing these events and networking afterwards. Our Saturday events have slightly changed in that we have our 1 to 3:30 meetup, just like we always do. 1 to 2 p.m. is going to be our beginner hour, and we're going to go over everything beginner. And then from 2 to 3:30, we have our topic of the week, which this week is just how to start a private label, the simplest way to start a private label. So I'm going to try not to go in the weeds on all these crazy strategies that I'm doing now after so many years, and just talk about the absolute basics. Obviously, we run through the basics pretty quick, or you guys want to ask me questions that are more advanced, like we can get into that. But it's a very open topic on that. The different thing that we're doing on Saturdays now is usually after the 3:30, when we end at around 3:30, we either go get food together or we network right here for a while. We have a few minutes to network afterwards, and we now have another meetup event that starts at 4 p.m. on Saturdays. Today's also hosted by me. It's usually going to be hosted by Moises, and that's our YouTube meetup event. So we do a lot of YouTube stuff. So if you're interested, you're welcome to stay and just take a peek, even if you're not doing YouTube. Just like here, you can attend these meetups if you're thinking of starting on Amazon or if you're successfully selling on Amazon. So all experience levels are welcome. The YouTube meetup events are specifically for business owners, specifically online businesses, but it doesn't have to be just online businesses that want to make money on YouTube. A lot of Amazon sellers are cutting a lot of their dependency on Amazon advertising by leveraging the traffic on YouTube and getting that sent to Amazon. Really cool brand that I know of, and I'm drawing a blank on the name, but the person actually started with a YouTube channel, and they would just approach people with a little mic, and which I know is terrifying for some people. They'd approach them, I don't know, let's say Lincoln Road. Is that still around? I haven't been there in forever. Lincoln Road still? Yeah. So you just approach somebody like on Lincoln Road and ask them, we have this perfume or we have this cologne. We have 2 of them. We'd like you to know, we'd like your opinion on which one you think smells better. And they'd say it. And if they gave their opinion, they're probably down with playing ball a little bit, and you'd say, what does it remind you of? And you get all kind of comments done. And the person just posted those online, and eventually got so many people viewing these videos and decided to come out with his own brand of cologne. And he's now an 8-figure Amazon seller because he used Amazon, and he has spent $0 in ads. So it's very possible. You're not going to attend the meetup about YouTube this afternoon and go start an 8-figure business based on what you got out of that one. But it might be something you're interested in. It is a longer term play. I approach starting brands on Amazon as a content first approach. That's just a preference. You don't have to do that. But that's my style of doing it, so obviously I gravitate towards YouTube stuff. Every other week, starting at noon, we have Shopify meetups that are in the front room. So for those of you that want to level that up, obviously you're going to have to make a choice because it's from like 12 to 2:30, and this is from 1 to 3:30, so there's some overlap. There will be hard feelings if you choose Andres' session over mine, but I'll understand. So with that, a few announcements in the group. This group would not be possible. 1,600 meetup events, and pretty much every Saturday outside of a holiday, I come here and do this. That is the perfect recipe for an unhappy wife. So if you tell her you're doing a free meetup every single Saturday for the last 12 years, it was up to her. Everyone would be paying a ticket to come in and to justify that. So to make that happen and to keep my wife happy, we have sponsors that offset a lot of the costs of this place, the empanadas, the pastelitos and stuff that are in the back, the coffee that I forgot to order, that I'm gonna order now. Ramon, any chance you can order a thing of coffee and I'll just Cash App you? Starbucks? Uber Eats? You have Uber Eats? Huh? No, I'll do it real quick then. That stuff's from the sponsors that make this possible, these locations that we have where we host these meetup events, the different events we do around the US. Those sponsors you can see coming down here in this ticker. We're blessed to have a bunch of them. I'd say we're even more blessed to be in a position where we can say no to more sponsors than we say yes. So we don't have to sell our soul to, just because they're willing to give us money, that I'll be up here promoting a tool that I don't like. For the most part, I use all of them. There is a few that I don't. And when they become a sponsor, I mention that to you guys. And what I do in that situation is I find somebody in the group who is an active seller, or a few of them that would benefit from something like this. And I ask them to give a free license to them so that they can stress test it for a couple months, test the feedback, the customer service, see if it works. And if it does work, I obviously trust that person and they come back and let me know, hey, this thing was good, I think you should recommend it, or not. Let me grab this coffee real quick for you guys. Orders, past orders. In addition to that, we're 99% sure we will be starting our China sourcing group trips again in April. They will be led by Ramon, who's part of the group. No, I'm sorry, not Ramon. They will be led by Raul. Sorry, I had your name in mind. What? Was that an excited look? I don't know though. Was that an excited or shocked or? Would you have been excited? Yay? Nay? Huh? No? Okay. So they're going to start back up they'll be April and October. I expect to be able to make a final announcement on that sometime mid-October. When I make the announcement, everybody will start seeing a lot of announcements, a lot of stuff on that, because getting visas and planning those trips is a bit complicated. But what we do is we go as a group and we source products from China. We go to the Canton Fair. A gentleman in the back actually went to one of the ones we've done before. It's a great experience. We don't charge anything for the trip. By that, I mean you're on the hook for your plane, your hotel, your wine, your massages, whatever you're into. We don't charge for the expertise of traveling around with us and showing you what we've learned and how to navigate these trips. It's a great experience. I've been to China sourcing products more times than I can remember, and several times in the beginning was by myself. And it's a completely different experience when you're with a group than it is by yourself. I made a lot of mistakes that you can avoid, so if that's your cup of tea, I recommend going with us. We have a fantastic relationship with Alibaba, so I expect on this trip we'll actually be able to tour several of their centers. They have fulfillment centers of their own, so we'll be able to tour some cool Alibaba fulfillment centers, see some good stuff. When we're over there, we do Hong Kong Mega, Canton Fair, Cross Border Summit, my FBA for You meetup events, which is the largest FBA meetup events in China. So it's a really good trip, exhausting. And if you don't like Chinese food, you're in for a rude awakening. China food? I highly doubt that. And by the way, by China food, I do not mean P.F. Chang's. It is nothing like what you think. There is no special, I have never seen special fried rice in mainland China, like never. I have seen what looks like rice and boiled chicken feet with the nails on there, and that's just not my thing. Ramon, he goes at it, I'll be fair, like he's very adventurous. He did lose to me in a hot pot, right? In our hot food eating contest?
Yep.
Okay, and you also lost to me at
Wait, I lost to you?
you already confirmed that, we've moved on from that.
No.
You also lost to me in the, what was it, the drinking contest that you challenged me to, right? They see me, they can't hear you. You don't have a mic back there, so you can't even defend yourself, so. Okay, but I think you might have been a witness to that in the back too. When we were at you went with us when we were in China to the Irish pub in the middle of China? Yeah. With the broken mechanical bull, and we were the bull. Yeah. I got on stage with a guitar. Yeah, you were there. Okay. Other trip, we had to reschedule our online seller cruise trip. I think this week we'll be announcing the next trip, so anybody that wants to roll their cabin credits over, they'll be able to do it. But once a year, we go as a group on out of the Port of Miami for Carnival for a week of presentations, workshops, and a lot of other cool stuff on board, and obviously a lot of fun from the ship. Just be on the lookout for more information for that on the emails. Any other information you want to know directly, just go to onlinesellercruise.com. The private label accelerator that I started, first one I think was an amazing success. People have graduated. Gentleman back there, he's got a list of really cool products and a solid plan right there. So if you had any questions from him, he could let you know. And the second one sold out except for one seat, which I expect will be sold today. But I've been really excited about that. Hopefully I can have some of them on the podcast so you can hear some of their advances and their successes with their private label coming soon in the future. I think that's it for announcements. I don't know if I'm missing anything. Oh, TikTok. I know some of us here, instead of arbitrage, if you're just getting started, you want to make some money, we've been talking a lot about being and this is the beginner hour, about being a creator and reviewing products to start making some money, whether you're going to use that money to go into pay-per-click advertising or whether you want to turn it into a full-fledged business. There's the Amazon influencer program side of things, still good to go. Frustrating some people to actually get into the program and be able to monetize their videos. And there's the TikTok side. We're actually making some money now with TikTok. So that's been pretty good. I think with the TikTok live streams, it's pretty consistent now at less than an hour per day, making about $100 an hour, or $100 per day. Since we're only going for an hour, I'm calling it $100 per hour. But the specific type of live, if you wanted to do it, I actually saw for the first time from Madi, who's on my team. And for those of you that have seen this, then it might be boring to you. I had never seen this before. So we started doing it, and that is you go live, and then like say I'm going live and I have followers, or it doesn't matter if I have followers or not, but I go live, and then I'm connected to Candace, so I invite Candace onto my stream. So now we're side by side in the live. And then I tell Candace, like, let's have a competition, whoever gets more points. And we might do something silly like whoever gets more points has to buy the other person's product on Amazon, or has to crack an egg over their head. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. But what happens is Candace's followers, they go to her stream and they just start hearting you and giving you all kind of stuff, which by the way, all translates into money for you. My followers start doing the same things. They're like, no way we're gonna let Candace be Carlos. And they start doing the same thing. The TikTok algorithm sees this and says, oh my God, like there's some activity here. They start sending a whole bunch of people to your stream that you don't even know, who turns into followers, about 180 followers an hour. and it just grows really rapidly. So you're getting paid by these people who are supporting what you're talking about. You're getting paid by every time somebody hits like a heart on your thing. I think for every 1,000 hearts or something, you get a little something, and it adds up fast. It's fairly easy to get 1,000 people on your stream that way. If you have the stomach for it.
When do you go, on the what account do you go live? 'Cause I want to see that.
Well, you can't see past lives, but what I can do is the next time we go live, I can just share a link of a live to you, or the next time somebody on the team's here going live, I could just share that link. It'll start happening. Well, one of the things we're going to be able to see here live is today, we were supposed to start streaming today, the Wizards of Ecom. So I didn't want to use the current profiles we have on TikTok, the real Carlos Alvarez one, or any of the other ones that we have. So we created a new one, Moises created it, Wizards of Ecom, but the account has to be around for 30 days.
And you also have to have, I believe, a certain amount of followers in order to be able to go live.
Or, yes, you have to have a certain amount of followers in order to go live, or you need to show proof that you have a history of going live on other platforms. So I just shared the YouTube and the other one. So if you're someone who goes live on other platforms, for whatever the topic, it's irrelevant, you do it, or you have to be around for 30 days. So I recommend you go live. You can, like, say I qualify to go live and you don't, I can invite you to my stream and you can go live. Yeah. So fantastic way to do this. It's absolutely crazy. I'm ashamed to admit that my arm is not just sore now from working out, but when your person gets on and you're like hearting them so fast, it's almost like back in the days of like playing video games, your hands cramping up, and it's pretty competitive. Anyhow, just something I wanted to share that I discovered. I'm shocked that you were going to say an inappropriate joke. Those squishy things. Those are, no, don't send it to him. He wants to say something inappropriate. Those squishy things, those are mics. You don't have to hold them near you to talk. I can hear you fine. It's just so that people watching the stream, it's very weird if they just hear me answering stuff and they don't see anybody and they don't hear the question. So if you start talking, I might just say, can someone throw the mic? You can just have it near you. You don't have to talk into it. On the other hand, if you have it near you and you're talking to the person beside you, everyone is hearing your conversation. Okay? Cool. Where's Tom when you need him? All right. I think that is all the announcements. Let's do questions. I think you have some. You don't have to. Yeah, no, no, feel free. Anybody else have questions? You want to go for it?
Yes. Two questions. With TikTok, can you put an Amazon link? Because I know you're buying can't.
No, you can't.
Because you just said, if you're live with someone or whatever, you could say, I'll buy that. I don't want a product. You can't unless you go search my, like.
No. We're right there. It's kind of like honor code.
Telling people to get it.
Yeah.
Okay. Good question. I don't know. I think I asked you this last week, but I'm not sure. Do you personally have any products you're selling on TikTok Shop?
We have products that are listed on TikTok Shop, but that are not selling.
Okay, so could you just tell me again, say you list a product on TikTok Shop, it's not pulling out of your Amazon inventory, right? Where's the inventory held?
It can pull from your inventory. Yeah.
And that's an extra fee, I'm sure.
It's a different software that you need to get.
You need to get a software.
Yeah. Or you could just, look, in the beginning, your orders are not going to be coming so fast that you can't just manually create an MCF order, like a multi-channel fulfillment order. You could have inventory on hand that you're shipping. You could drop it out of your FBA inventory, but you just paid to get it all the way to FBA. It takes a while to check into FBA. Maybe you're pulling it from your AWD inventory. Maybe it's at a random third-party logistics center. Depends on the product. Does it need to be kitted? Is it very complicated? Is it fragile? Is it tiny? Is it large?
I have limited inventory, but I do have some, on hand. So, I feel like my videos on TikTok, on my business account, get a lot of views. More than, Instagram or whatever. And I just think, I should go on there and try it out. But I don't know, is that a challenging process?
To get it on TikTok?
Yeah.
No, it's not. And we're putting together We're putting together some pretty good resources just to give to everybody here so you can see how to do it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
You guys,
Yeah, well, what we're doing right now is I either have to wait until we're opening up a new TikTok shop,
yeah.
or I need to create a new one just for the purposes of answering a question. But instead what we're going to do is one of the brands I have is a brand called Salsa Kings that sells products online, mostly like swag and print on demand stuff and stuff like that. Andres, who does the Shopify, WordPress development and all that stuff for the agency side of what we do, we're about to roll out a pretty amazing TikTok product. And we obviously, if we're offering TikTok ads and we're offering TikTok shop and TikTok ranking, we need to be able to open up a TikTok shop or show somebody how to do it. So we're gonna do one with the Salsa King side and be able to show all the step-by-step done with a Loom video, a screenshot, everything you need. So I'm just gonna give that resource to everybody here so you know how to do it.
And where are you guys gonna pull your inventory from?
Well, in the case of Salsa Kings, it's print on demand. So it's gonna pull from whoever's printing it. But what there's not a one size answer to that, one size fits all answer to that. So for your particular product that I know you're sitting on inventory as well. I would ship it from your inventory.
Okay.
The time of the year right now, we're about to get into crunch time where it's gonna start taking longer for inventory to get fully checked in and available to Amazon. I wouldn't wanna tinker with inventory that you have. But if you're flirting with long-term storage fees, if you're dealing with other stuff, I mean, any excuse to get inventory out of there. So it just depends on what's going on. If your inventory was sitting at a 3PL, say like a Unicargo 3PL or a Honu Worldwide or something like that, I would just drip it out from them.
MCF is so expensive.
MCF has gotten more expensive.
Yeah, I don't.
But what, in your case,
Yeah.
I know you have inventory in FBA and I know you have inventory at home.
Yeah.
I'd ship from home.
Yeah?
Yeah. Well, do this. Where does it need to be shipped? Jump into MCF, look at it, create it, see what they're going to quote you to do it, and then look at if you go in and you get, UPS and you need to ship it to California, which one's cheaper, and then do whichever's cheaper.
Okay.
I think in your case, it's probably going to be MCF because you need to really package your products because it's glass.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, but it's because it's glass though, but like
Right.
normal product, man, MCF is.
we were looking at yesterday a product. I won't say it because I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. We were talking about a card game, deck of cards. So the deck of cards, just ship it USPS
Yeah.
from wherever, probably from the factory.
Yeah, yeah.
But so it just depends.
Okay, so but should I still just wait? Like, when do you guys think you're gonna have that? Like the next 2 weeks?
I would love to have it. I'd love to be able to give you something that looks sloppy by next Saturday. Or next Saturday. I'll have it in a nice looking format, or I'll be able to say, hey, just hit up Andres. During the week, you're probably gonna be able to just hit up Andres.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright.
And I was gonna say, this TikTok shop has where you can sign up with their shipping program, and so the shipping is cheaper than if you did your own shipping.
Yeah.
Film by TikTok is a thing, but I don't think you can sign up if you're a brand new seller. You have to.
No, but she's talking about you can buy postage through TikTok, and the bought postage comes out to be cheaper than buying postage on Amazon currently.
Yeah. So there, I guess my question would be, do you have any,
Because the challenge with TikTok for me is like too, right? I have so much on shop, but nothing is selling. It's the creator piece of it. How to get creators.
You want to go to Your First Dollar. For right now, you want to go to a thing called Your First Dollar. It's going to cost you $50 a month. I could send you a link and they give me like $3, but that's not why I'm recommending it. And it'll save you something. But Your First Dollar has 16,000 creators that are there. Some of those people, quite a bit of those people, are probably willing to do, for like $100, they'll do like 15 videos for you. So,
because I've sent out messages to collaborators asking them to sign up and.
no. That piece is so important.
Like I've got
That-
one person with 5,000 followers that
No.
they won't generate
No.
print on demand.
No. So that piece is so important, and I think it's going to become more important moving forward, that someone on my team, Erica, she comes through, I think she won't be here today, But Erica and I have created something which you'll, again, starting next week, you'll hear me talk about more, called Creator Blueprint, which is pretty much nearly identical to Your First Dollar. So we decided to compete there. It's gonna be on Discord. It's gonna be the same $50 a month to be able to get it. But I have a lot of brands. Some of those are brands that are here, but I have a lot of brands that are willing to get in there and work with creators. So if you wanna make money as a creator, it's gonna be a great way to connect. But it's also going to spend a great deal of time teaching creators how to make better content for products. So this person you're talking about that has 5,000 followers, they might not be good at talking about your product. So even if they do get it, it's not,
I don't want to be the creator.
absolutely.
I'm the
Most
chef
people don't.
that you're talking
Yeah.
about, right. But I want somebody who can
Yep.
help do the print on demand for me.
Yep. Yeah, all that. So even once I roll out mine, Creator Blueprint, I'm still also going to be recommending Your First Dollar. So there's no reason for you to ever limit yourself to just one. You have a bit of an advantage here because you'll know some of the other creators that are here, unless you don't want anyone to know your product. But yeah, but if not Your First Dollar, just hit me up on WhatsApp or something and I'll send you the link to it. And you're going to go to opportunities and brands. I mean, you're going to go to opportunities and you're going to go in there and you're going to see what other brands are posting and you're going to go in there and my brand is this. I would like to structure a deal with a creator for commission only or commission plus monthly retainer. You know, you'll get a good idea of like what are the types of offers that people put out there, and I just copy one of them. Put it out there and you're going to get a lot of DMs. Some of them are going to respond and say, I'll do it for $500. And you're like, did you read my post? You know, but just you can't avoid that. But that's the best way to do that right now. Although, and the reason it's so good is because it's so difficult to get a hold of these people, identify these people, know if they're real. So once you do this, it's a great way to slowly start building up stuff. They reach out to you. And if it's commission only too, they're basically saying, I'll create videos and I'm so confident that I can get sales from those videos, I'm willing to work only on commission. So I think that's putting your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, 'cause I have 20% off, like right now, no ticket.
But 20% on a product that sells for what?
$20.
So $4.
I mean, they're t-shirts.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, so you're doing print on demand?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Okay. We do really good with print on demand on the Salsa King side. So, yeah, cool. I was like, did you have a question beyond that, or yeah?
For packaging, we're getting ready to place an order for packaging a bag.
Mm-hmm.
When we're going to get it from China. What are some things we could do to reduce the fees, the tariffs, import duties, and all that stuff?
No, you're ordering. It's going to have whatever it gets. You're ordering probably 1,000 units or something like that.
Probably like 10,000.
Yeah, no, there's going to be no way around it. I mean, I've heard that some people are getting around it by doing like door to door, like it just having like DHL send it straight to your door and they're somehow getting around it, but I don't want to tell you like do that because you're going to avoid everything and you might still get a tariff. But remember, it's on the commercial invoice value. And what are you paying? 20 cents a bag?
I think they got us at like 11 cents. No, it was actually.
Or less? Yeah.
It was like a penny and a half or something.
Right, so what does that come out to be?
Yeah.
A penny and 10,000 units? I don't do public math. Okay, I don't feel bad now. I'm pulling out my calculator. I thought I was going to be exposed for my GED here, so but if nobody knows.
It's $100.
Yeah, you're good. I mean, you're going to pay, say you get hit for 25% tariff on $100. I wouldn't.
Well, we ordered a bunch of samples from a few different suppliers. I think we're gonna get it like this early this week. But for those, they like, I feel like they inflated the value. They were saying it was like $1 a bag or something. And we just ordered a few samples from a few different suppliers.
Your tariffs are based off the commercial invoice value. So
Just asking
if your factory put that this is $100 for something that's $1, then that's an issue with the factory.
Pressure them to actually put the.
Shouldn't have to pressure them. The pressure is put the correct commercial invoice value or I won't do business with you. Yeah. We're still starting at 1, Tom.
Sorry, you.
How was the flight?
My five, good.
Oh, hold on. What other questions we got? Ramon? Oh, yep. Go ahead.
Yeah, sure. Anybody else get with that new B certification of Canada and Brazil and all that stuff?
It seems like everybody is.
I had one of my accounts get in and I'm like, okay, only one, but now it's the second one. And they just,
Yeah, it seems like everybody has. I think everybody's going to have to deal with that.
but they don't accept, maybe they're not accepting my documentation for one of their accounts.
You can't forge it.
Yeah, I'm not forging. But yeah, I guess I'm not the only one. Everybody's having it, right?
Everybody's having it, yeah. We got through it, but by we, I mean very smart people on my team. I did not do it. So if you want, I can put you, yep. Thank you, gracias. I would, if you're struggling with it, I'd put you together with like Raquel or Alvic or somebody like that.
I
And
still
Ra-
have time, just I don't understand why they're not accepting the documentation that I used to open the account with. I don't get it, but.
yeah. Never a dull moment with Amazon.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah. What else? What's everybody else up to?
What do you do exactly to like prove the country of origin for the items in question?
To prove the country of origin, your invoice, yeah, or your import documents.
Is it meant, because I didn't read thoroughly on
But what is that called? It's called your import bond. Well, no, your bond just shows that you can bring it in. Yeah, it's your commercial invoice. That shows proof of origin of your products. The invoice from China. Yeah, should be it.
So from last time I mentioned that the ad did real well for the product, for us with feedback, proof of concept. So I went ahead and took the advice, add to cart.
Yep.
And I had to run a separate,
Yeah.
a new ad for that. So the results, according to industry standards, were pretty good. The reach was around 1,100. Link clicks, 52. It's like 4.39% of the reach. And of that, there were 4 add to carts, right?
For how many?
For 52 link clicks.
It's fantastic.
Now, I wouldn't have bought the Whiting purchase because if you look at the product, you're like, is this even real, right? Like, there's no social proof, there's nothing. So I understand why somebody wouldn't actually go ahead and pay money for my website, from my Roots website. So,
So for the people that weren't here, can you do you mind share? You don't have to be. You can be. You don't have to say the product, but so everybody knows like where you were at.
yeah, where I was at. So what I did, I had an idea for a premium water, canned water beverage. And so I created an AI ad. It's like a minute. It's very funny, entertaining. And it's around a certain concept, right? So, and so the feedback was real well. I mean, the engagement was above average on that. I mean, I think it was like 25% of people who had reached commented. The shares, there was like 25% of people shared it. It was fabulous.
Okay, but so the reason why I think it's important. It's actually really good that you did this. You had an idea for a product, but you're like, man, just because I like it doesn't mean this thing's going to sell. So you wanted to prove it, right?
Right.
So you create an AI video ad,
Right.
which is, to me, that's where the power of AI comes in, right? Previously, most people wouldn't test, and they're kind of either stuck or they take an unnecessary risk because they need to put in, if you're going to create a video ad, it needs to be pretty good, right? So you're going to spend about $1,000.
I spent $300.
$300, well, for the AI ad.
run that ad?
Yeah.
I grant $300.
Right, but pre AI, you would have needed to work with a video person.
I'm a jack of all trades, I did.
Yeah, so,
I spent $24 in credits.
perfect. So, okay, so continue. So
But I'm not jack of all trades, I'm one of the limitations.
yeah.
So I did that, but you're right, if you pay somebody, it's gonna cost to do that. So I went ahead, it's like, what's the next step, what do I do next? Because this is a product it's not really serving a purpose, it's not solving a problem. It'll be based off of marketing. That would be the main thing, it's entertainment, marketing, and then we have that type, like Liquid Death. Pretty much competing with Liquid Death.
Yeah.
So it's like, what do I do next? Do I buy water, a short run, find a bottler, a bottler that already has their own water, that they do the test, they're responsible for all that, and I just have inventory in Amazon as small as possible and test it, and I'm not sure.
So now you, and then we were talking and there was doubt around the risk around the product. So then I was like, you asked what more we can do, and I suggested, well, one thing is sending traffic to a website, the other one is getting people to buy it.
Right.
So I would set up a landing page so people could actually go to check out and then refund them. You found like a medium in between that to where people could add it to cart.
No, I did a website.
Okay.
I did a website, they could have bought it if they wanted to.
Okay.
But I think like there's not enough social.
So where are you on that now? Do you feel you're confident enough now you could pull the trigger? Because if not, I would say if you could create an AI video, you could create some AI amazing testimonials. Like
Like the one thing.
yeah. So like you could do a whole bunch of stuff and actually get the checkouts, because what will remove all doubt is showing actual checkouts. And if you can create an AI video ad about the product, you can do the testimonials, like everything else.
If I'm doubting the social proof, solve that as much as possible.
Right, solve it. Well, one of the issues I have, there's a guy named Raymond who's been part of the group forever. He called it the poor man's PL. And it used to be when I mean, 16 years ago on Amazon, if you wanted to, before everyone even called it private label, if I wanted to launch a French press, what you did is you got like 5 French presses from anywhere. Or you went to Winco and got 5 generic French presses, and you just posted it on Amazon. And if they sold, you just kept selling till you got to like 100 units, and then you thought about going to China. But as the playing field leveled up, or as it became more competitive on Amazon, that cost nothing to start, so they called it the poor man's PL. The poor man's PL model is not eliminating any risk, and it's also not telling you if something sells, because doing low budget pictures and a low quality listing and not investing in fully optimized X, and it doesn't sell, just told you nothing. You know, a product still could be a good product. So in your case, it sounds like you just need to do a few more things. I mean, the whole website's up. You got an AI video, you ran these tests. Just take it the extra step, fully optimize this thing and see what you're looking. Because if you do fully optimize it and you're still not getting full checkouts, that is something to look at. Like I'd say, hey man, let's get this to the point, because you could just do the refunds on the checkout when you don't have the product. Like, why are you not getting that? I'd much rather you solve that before you go mass produce something.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. On the print on demand side, it's pretty popular because I know you're into print on demand, and I've just seen this when the topic of print on demand became hot for a period of time here in the group. And it's like, yeah, it's super easy to start print on demand. It's super easy to get some print on demand plugins, and it's super easy to point to a bazillion absolutely amazing places that will print anything. That means nothing. You need to have traffic and conversions. So you need to drive traffic. So the whole thing about that topic is driving traffic. If you get that product and you can convert consistently on your website, you got something good, because converting on Amazon against a whole bunch of other water brands. Tom's the other person I told you about that has the water brand that I told you last week. I was like, you guys should talk about it. I've actually visited one of his factories that he made water in LA in the past, and there's plenty of them out there. But I can tell you firsthand how competitive the water category is on Amazon. And we're on his Reservoir brand. I mean, we beat Essential most of the time on water. So it's a dogfight. So if you're going to do it, why not have some consistent sales on your website? So I would recommend, you've done more than most, like just do the testimonials, like just fully vet this and then go.
And you would think like those video testimonies, I think I saw it from one of the presentations. I don't know if you're here for that. But
No,
video
I didn't think it was great value on that one. It was Tom and Ramon, so I didn't come. I'm just kidding.
I think like that one, like the one where they got people talking. And
No. It was really good. No, I was traveling. They hosted it. The feedback from it's been fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The videos look like for sure.
They're referring to it to the event where Tom and his assistant were there.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah, it was those two. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
I know them really good guys. That's why I'm playing with them. Yeah. Cool. That's what I would do. I'd really love to hear the outcome of that. And I prefer canned water. So. Any other questions? Yep.
So I know that you at least did two products, right? Two products. So right now in this phase, like connecting different suppliers, manufacturers, and now I have like the task to solve. It's a formula of my product. So there are different options. Like I have one supplier who's ready to do everything, like formula, ingredients, packaging, everything. And also I contacted different co-packers, and they're saying, okay, we need formula for you. And one lady, she said like she had like 20 years of experience, she recommended to hire some food scientist or some company, because in this way I'll own this formula. But she's saying if some supplier doing it for you, probably and most likely they will own this formula. So from your experience, how do you do it, or what you can recommend on it?
I think all of those are great options. I have never needed to really do more the way I've approached it. I've never really needed to do more than say, let me try to give you an exact example, but what's the example I've been using? Coconut flakes, I don't know. Let's just say coconut flakes. And let's say they are macadamia coated coconut flakes. I don't know if that's a thing, right? So they're gonna need a formula for that because it's a blend. First of all, I would find the top sellers of the macadamia coated coconut flakes. I would order from them and I send them to the person. And I've never needed to do more than that. Hey Peter, how's it going? I'll try to repeat the questions, but yeah, the mic is right beside the speaker, so you should be hearing that. Watch me not have raised the volume on those mics. I did not. Wow.
I have two. Can you hear me?
The volume is now up on the mic, so this whole time we've been passing the mic around, and Tom forgot to raise the volume on the mics. So, should be better. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so your question, I'll repeat it, is you got both mics next to you now. Okay, so your question was that you're working with a supplier and they're asking you, because you're dealing with a product that's a blend, meaning two or more ingredients into one. And I'm using an example here, so I'm not using your product or anybody else's, saying macadamia coated coconut flakes, because that's two different ingredients. And thank you, Janet. And they're recommending you go to a food scientist, and that maybe if you went that route and had your blend, you'd own the formula. And if you didn't do that, it might be that whoever put it together, they'll own the formula. I've never run into that as an issue. It sounds solid. I don't think there's anything wrong with going that route unless you go to a food scientist, and I know they're not that expensive, but unless you go to a food scientist and they say, you know, $5,000, and I'd be like, no, you know what, it doesn't need to be that precise for what I'm trying to do. I've never needed to go beyond sending, say, my competitors' macadamia coated coconut flakes, send it to them, they blend it, they send it to me, they see if I approve it, and I'm like, I like that. And then they send me what the blend is. I've not. But that sounds like it could be a thing. I would go to the food scientist. I think it's like a few $100. And go for it, yeah. What were you quoted? Have you been quoted by a food scientist yet?
Actually, I contacted Maryland Development, you know, it's a company in Minnesota, but their prices is for like from 2,000 to 5,000 per one formula. And if I have like a line of products, each line is like different formula. So it's,
I have never needed to do that. And anytime I've worked with it, was a bunch of food scientists in Orlando, I could try to find their information. I was trying to do some cookies at one time, and I was looking into that, and I'm almost positive it was $450.
so it's a good idea just to find supplier who's ready to help with it. Like, let's say, as you said, you can send them like ingredients or even competitors' product.
Yeah,
They
if the
can-
person only has the ability to like supply raw ingredients, it's probably not the person you want to work with. Or it could be easier if you work with somebody else that could do all of it.
And a quick question about this, your first dollar. Those creators, do they create content for you and then you post it on your own social media, or they just have like affiliate link from you?
So
to
you
advertise your product?
you as the brand owner can say what it is you'd like out of this arrangement. What you're looking for is that they post the content.
Oh,
But I always throw in there, because it's not going to really cost you anything else, that they also give you that content as well in the raw video, so that you have it and you can put it anywhere else that you want later on. Like, if you have somebody doing videos for these macadamia coconut flakes, maybe somebody putting them on cereal, or somebody's using them for baking, and you're getting all these different videos out there. If you grabbed all of them and you put them together in like a montage, that's a pretty cool video ad that you can use on Amazon.
but it's a side product. The main goal is
Right.
for them to advertise your product.
Right. And the two main things that happen that brands do, the first one was a huge, well, is you post it on your feed. Say your TikTok feed, you do the video, you post it, that's one. This next one was a shock for me, because for a while, there was like a few month period that Erica was stress testing from our team, just breaking every rule imaginable, trying to do anything possible with product videos and influence to learn as much as we can. And one of the shockers was that as a creator, you're like, no one's really gonna wanna work with me because I don't have tens of thousands of followers, right? But when you have tens of thousands of followers, it doesn't matter, because the first thing the brands are saying is, yes, we'll work with you, we want you to create these videos, but we want you to create another feed. We want you to create a totally different TikTok profile from zero. And the reason for that is, it makes sense once you understand. If you have 100,000 followers on your TikTok, but you review products that are about everything, because that's what you do. And you're doing 5 or 6 products a day. My product is going to be buried immediately, and it's going to be sandwiched between a pool product and a cat scratcher, right? But if you create a totally separate feed and you create your 15 to 30 videos for them, there's now a feed out there that shows this is the only thing this person creates. And if I like working with you, the next 15 to 30 videos are going to continue going on that feed. So as a brand, that's a more valuable asset that exists. They know clearly where all this stuff is coming from. It's not, you know, I've actually seen it. Somebody came to me and goes, I don't understand. The creator did this video of our product, it got 15,000 views. We got no sales, right? So I'm like, okay. And I go look, and the video right before that one, it's the creator, a woman, I'm not meaning to be crude here, a woman, shooting pool in a very seductive way, wearing something very revealing. And this thing got a bazillion views, and it just, anyone that watched, the next video that came up was this one. So it sort of just inherited these other views. Can you imagine the disappointment of the majority of those people that were watching this pool thing, and then all of a sudden it popped off and saw your coconut flakes? You know what I mean? And they're just like, oh, no, take me back, you know? So like, it's very misleading now. If you got 15,000 views on that video, on a feed, on a profile that showed nothing but reviews of this particular product, you know it all comes from how this person is talking about your product. Make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
Do TikTok creators under a profile can have different feeds? I don't use TikTok.
I don't even think I'm using the right word, feed, right? I'm just saying, I'm assuming it's called a feed on your profile. So your TikTok profile shows all the stuff that
Right.
you reviewed.
So
your
that
post.
creator creating a separate.
They create a totally separate one.
Got it.
Yeah. Yeah. And these creators have dozens of them.
So they can monetize.
So they can monetize all of them. Right. And as a brand, which one would you rather your product showed up on? So the only way, like there's an influencer I know really well named Gracie Ryback. She's very popular in the space. If anyone wants to look up Deal Cheats on TikTok, her name's Gracie Ryback, Deal Cheats. Her channel became popular because she only posts about deals. And it's become deals with beauty. So there's an exception with that sort of channel because people go there to hunt deals, and now primarily to hunt deals within beauty. So if there's a mix of a whole bunch of products, that makes sense because they're all deals. And you as a brand still want your product there because there's so many people hunting for deals there, you know you're gonna get a lot of love from it. But if she posted about just random stuff that wasn't deals, you wouldn't want your products there. Make sense? Right.
She has 1.1 million.
1.1 million followers, yeah, and her conversion is just through the roof. Yeah, through the roof. Great person. If you looked her up online and just put podcast behind it, she's been on a ton of podcasts. She's been on our podcast several times. Great. She's on Online Seller Cruise, I think, every year when we host it. Great person. Yeah.
I think she started like a TikTok agency too.
Oh, cool. Makes sense. She started a TikTok agency. That's fantastic.
How many separate pages right now of like products? So she has her one page things, which we follow each other, but then
Yeah, but that's pretty much dormant. Like that page, we just, I'd say we have 24?
are you serious?
Probably 24.
So okay.
Some are dead because we tried black hat stuff. I mean, we did everything on these accounts to.
Okay, so let's say 24. So let's say 18. Let's just say.
Sure.
So is she posting weekly
No.
on all those 18?
No. Right now, she's not done any posting on TikTok for like the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Why?
Because we've been going all in on the creating of Creator Blueprint. She's
Okay.
been scripting it. She's been doing research to make sure the information's good.
Okay.
She's been formatting. It's literally ready to record. She's been telepromptering. Like, it's pretty crazy.
Congratulations, I'm excited for that. So what happened? Like she just did these deals with this brand and then they expired. She kept her commitment and that was it.
We still have the deals with those brands. We just told them we need to take a pause for a second, and if they're not happy with it, that's fine. Like we were willing to lose all the brand deals we had.
And she was able to open unlimited 18 accounts, 24 accounts on TikTok.
I mean, I think there was some different phone numbers that had to be used sometimes. I think there was some different email stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, we haven't had any.
Okay.
I think there's a limit of 5 per phone number.
Yeah.
Or per email or
That's why I
something.
said- Okay.
But as long as you can, or per email or something, I don't know. But beyond that, no issues. But again, even when we're talking about 18, I think maybe 5 or 6 stayed active. Like, for example, the one that we use as an example, here, that's a dead, I think it's a dead account. And the reason for that is we wanted to test towards the end, once we broke 10,000 or got close to 10,000, we wanted to test promos. So there's a feature on TikTok where you could just pay a couple cents, a couple dollars, and boost your,
Posts, yeah.
right. Supposedly you're boosting to your audience, so it shouldn't matter, but it matters. The type of people you get exposed to in your boost are not the type of people you want following your account, and it's just gonna kill your account moving forward.
They have like options, boost your page, boost followers.
I wouldn't do any of those boosts.
None of them, okay.
No. Don't do any of it.
But why? Like, it doesn't convert, you're saying?
I would say if you've ever run ads on Google, say you have a pool cleaning service and you run pool cleaning ads, and let's say you're also highly ranked in Google when somebody searches for pool cleaning Miami. So technically somebody searches something about cleaning their pool in Miami and you see an ad, and on the same page, on the same thing, you also see your organic placement as like the number one. Some people click and they're gonna reach out on the phone number via the ad. Some people are gonna click on the link, and 99% of the people that click on an ad, they're gonna flake. They're like, I don't want to pay that. Give me a 75% discount. And there's all that. They're gonna not show up, or like they'll have you show up to the house to clean the pool and nobody's there to even open up. But nearly 99% of the ones that click on the organic are like amazing clients.
Yeah.
So it's a totally different type of person,
Yeah,
right?
okay.
And that's what you see when you do the promo. So what's gonna happen is if you're like 500 people and you're like, I'm invested in this. I'm gonna grow my bee decor. So you could either create organic content and grind your organic content for an amount of time and slowly, naturally grow, or you could do some promos and boost it. But what's gonna happen is, say you boost it to 10,000. You now have 9,500 people that are not going to engage with your future content the way you want them to. And because they don't, TikTok sees this and says, let's not show this to anyone. This isn't good content.
What about when you do it on Facebook or let's say Facebook, and see Facebook and Instagram, you could put your Amazon link.
Mm-hmm.
So do you feel like the boost is worth it there?
Well, if you boost your page, so few people are gonna go into your link. So it's not really worth it.
So when you say like Zuckerbucks, and like what kind of ads do you run on like Facebook?
I will run things like, I'll run ads to Shopify. If I have a product that has a high subscription thing to it,
Yeah.
I'm willing to break even or take a slight loss just to build my subscriptions. So I'll send it on Amazon, you have your brand storefront, and you can create hidden landing pages within your branded storefront, meaning not visible to people on Amazon buyers. So when you run an ad, the link they click on from the ad will go to that hidden landing page that you have fully optimized on Amazon just to sell that product, versus sending them to Amazon where they're being bombarded by every ad, your competitors, distractions on the page, all this other jazz. So I would do that. If you had another type of business, you'd run them to a landing page, you'd run them to Shopify.
So if I were to run run ads, let's say I want to start running ads, should I do it on Amazon or like Facebook to my Shopify? Like, I didn't run any
Your
ads yet.
product, I don't think you should do Facebook Meta ads to Amazon at all.
Okay,
Like, you don't have a subscription element to your product,
right,
and you will pay more than your profit margin to get a sale.
okay. So run them on Amazon.
I would run your ads on Amazon. It's going to be much better.
Okay.
I'm not saying it's going to be pretty either, but it's going to be much better.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right, I'll talk to it.
Yeah. If you're gonna run an ad for that type of product, like these novelty type products do well on ads within Facebook Marketplace. So if you wanted to test that, I'd create an ad on Meta, and the only place you're targeting is Facebook Marketplace, and maybe put $10 a day and see how that does. So that means the people that are going around, like there's a good chunk of the people that go on Facebook Marketplace that are looking for like steals or cool, unique things that someone's giving away at a garage sale or they only list here. And your product has an element of that. It's like it's one of a kind, you know, bees and like, I'd run $10 a day for 10 days, and if it didn't look great, I'd stop it.
In addition to the Amazon
Yeah.
ones. And by the way, you know, I joined they're very slick because I joined all these groups on Amazon.
Mm.
I mean, I'm sorry, Facebook. Now, my Facebook, I use it just for like animal rescue. So I'll share like 20 here. I share all the time with the dogs, right? Okay. They rarely block or stop you, once in a while, but like they know, because all the rescue people are like, so I joined all these groups for my product. I swear to you, I'll share like 2 or 3, and they suspend me from posting. 3 days, 2 days. They know what I'm trying to do, and I think they're like, no, you're gonna pay. Because it happened 3 times in a row. I could do 20 dog posts, and they don't say anything, because I've been doing it. I put in 2 or 3 groups, they block me. They won't let me post.
Yeah, I stopped building on Meta, Facebook Meta, whatever, years ago. I mean,
Yeah.
I'll use them for ads, but I built, when Facebook pages came out for your business,
Yeah.
it was the best thing in the world.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I went all in on it, and one day to the next, you just couldn't even reach your own people unless you ran ads. And I was like, nah,
Yeah.
never again.
So you don't bother with that at all?
We have a Facebook group. I don't know if you
Yeah.
joined our Facebook group, Wizards of
No,
Ecom.
I don't know. I have to look. I don't.
Yeah,
think
no,
so.
I don't think I've posted in it unless it's just like an automated thing that posts our meetup in
Yeah.
years.
Oh, really?
But we have like, I think 7,000 plus people
Are you
in there.
serious?
Yeah.
Don't you feel like you're, like if it's for, well, I guess it's different. It's you. So you don't, you wouldn't sell your stuff in there. That's just for like, but this
Yeah.
is selling it. Like,
Yeah, no, I don't. You can sell, just because you can sell somewhere doesn't mean you should.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
What else you got? And then we're going to get into the topic.
I got another question, then someone messaged me on the thing.
Oh, Ting, it's Ting. Oh, it's your wife.
I don't know.
I'll tell you what, you can read it out loud. Can you see? Oh, you're squinting. I got you. I'll spare you. TikTok says, hi Carlos, you know my TikTok account. I've been posting 3 times a week now, and the views are healthy, more than our average, more than our 2,000 views. The like rate is good too, but the problem's still not getting followers. Don't worry about don't fixate on the followers. Your views are going up and people are seeing your stuff. Someone doesn't need to be a follower to buy your stuff.
Right. That's
Like,
true.
there was a period of time that subscribers on YouTube, it's still difficult not to think about our subscribers on YouTube, because I was like, we want that plaque of 100,000. But now we've got 2 plaques, and I'm meeting more YouTubers now. And I know a lot of YouTubers making millions of dollars. They have 7,000 subs. So like, the subscribe doesn't mean anything. And technically the quickest route to get followers is the more of those viewers keep returning each time you post, and they engage with your content. TikTok's gonna continue showing it to more. And like every 10 or 15 videos I see is about the average, you have a breakout video, and that breakout will become a bigger and bigger breakout on views. So I wouldn't worry about focusing on the views means you're focusing on doing your content better, and if you're focusing on doing your content better, the followers are gonna happen. Like, I mean, the only thing you could do is say, hey, by the way, leave us a follow, we'd really appreciate it, and I think that would tank your views.
Yeah, I got a question.
Yeah.
I can't say this.
Oh, sorry.
uh, for like a food product, and if you want to do social media videos, would you consider using Gemini or Nano Banana to make like a cooking video for
No.
AI generated? No.
No. Well, if you want to do a video to run an ad,
Sure.
yeah, I think it's good for creating ads. You're talking about creating a cooking thing so so that you can have someone get into watching somebody cook and dupe them with it being AI. I don't think that's going to go well for you. But depends what the AI. It depends what you want to do with the AI. I think one of the best examples of how to like massively do something with the AI is what the gentleman over here was talking about earlier. Like that used to be a big choking point in validating your product. He whipped together a video ad. If that video ad didn't work, you could whip together 10 other video ads using AI. That's great. Also, and I get that you could tell the AI to not be as perfect or to be flawed or whatever, but a lot of what people engage on with your content is all your flaws. You get this AI and it's going to have you in this perfect kitchen, right? It's all clean and whatever. Nobody's kitchen looks like that. Most people's kitchen doesn't look like that. So they get sucked into that, and then the people that are with you for a long time, they remember the old stuff you had and then kind of how it's progressed, and they've kind of progressed with you. So I think using AI to create that content would be a massive mistake.
Okay. Okay.
Even Ramon approves of that. Cool. All right. We got a bunch of questions in. I want to transition into the topic. Today's topic is the easiest way to start a private label. All right. I was speaking to Bruce beforehand. I can talk. This is what I do, is private label. I can talk about this at any level you want to talk about, but I'm ready to talk. Like if everybody here was experts in private label, we could talk about the easiest way to start private label as an expert, right? It looks like there's a good mix of people in here, but that there is several of us here that are at the more beginner level, so that's where we're going to take this one. What would help me tailor this and go through these steps, because there's a few very specific steps that you go through to make sure private label is simple to start. Who here has not begun selling private label? Okay. Is a private labels an interesting for you? Okay. It doesn't have to be, but it's something you want to start. Do you mind sharing? What's your name?
My name is Vladi.
Flajib. Okay. Okay. Do you have an idea of a category you'd want to start? No. Okay. All right. Do you have an idea of a budget you'd want to do to start? Okay. Pretty simple. And for this topic, feel free to push back on me and disagree. It's kind of important, right? This is where you and Tom come in, Ramon. You guys love doing this part. Push back on me if you disagree. But I've been pretty open about putting this out there. Print on demand, by the way, is a bit of an exception to this. But if you're selling hard goods, usually the cost of entry to private label is about 30 to 50K, right? If you're selling hard goods. So that means non-digital products. A lot of exceptions with print on demand because you print the goods as you need them. But you mentioned you have some hard goods coming as well from now. The reason for that is there's sample costs, there's the shipping of those sample costs, there's the shipping of your goods to get it over here, there's the cost of the goods, trademark, the Amazon fees, just to start the account, say $40 a month. Photos, if you have bad photos, you're really sabotaging your success. Like if you're in one area where you don't skimp, it's going to be your photos and maybe the video. There is the giving away of some of those products, say 30 for Vine, I'd say nowadays you want to have at least 10 or 15 to give into the hand of some Amazon influencers. There's the packaging design, a logo, like all these things have costs. So if you've calculated that, you may not have reached 30,000 because the big wild card there is your cost of your product. I used to sell cigar cutters. So one of you might be in that realm and you're like, well, if I sell a cigar cutter, my cost of my product is only, you know, for 500 to 1,000 cutters, I don't know, $2,000. You might have calculated that and come up with somewhere in the 12 to 15,000 range when you did that. And by the way, like, you might not have either. But if you're in the 12 or 15,000 range, consider the reason I'm still saying 30 to 50 is you should still have in your budget about 30% roughly to operate when these products get over here. This is your software, these are your advertising costs and all this stuff going on. And then, if everything works, you can't wait until the last product sells out before reordering. So you need roughly 30% to reorder your products. So even if you got to $10,000 or $15,000, you're really at $30,000 to $50,000 to do this private label thing. That's assuming low ads, and again, that's assuming you only got a cigar cutter. Ad costs. This is one of those things where I say, it depends. And I get asked a lot, what is your percentage that goes to your ads when you, I think you might have asked me that, what percentage of sales do you put towards your ads? I think it's a very normal question to ask. I think it's absolutely impossible in reality. It's one of these things like the best, what did Mike Tyson say? The best, everyone has a plan until they get punched in the mouth, right? Think about it, you're launching a product. Let's say you've decided that 20% of your sales going into ads. So you start your ads and they run out at 10 a.m. Do you stop running ads? Because you're in a launch. You only dedicated 20%. No. In reality, you throw everything but the kitchen sink at it because the alternative is a garage full of products. A hole in your credit card, debt you need to repay back. You need to move this thing. You also need to validate if it's a product you're going to continue reordering. Do you need to go get a real job? Do you need to move to another product? There's a lot of stuff you have to find out. You don't have the luxury of just sitting there looking at these products. So it's not possible to put a number on ad spend. What I would say, since we run ads, is that usually if we're not talking about a product that's in the baby space, if we're not talking about a product that's in supplements, coffee, tea, that sort of thing, if you're not in that category, I can usually say, or sometimes pseudo-medical, close to medical, I can usually say, look, we can make a plan for any budget you have, but I feel really confident if you were in the 5K per month range that you could do some massive damage and kind of take over your category. Like do some, you can get where you need to go. And in that first month or two, you're probably looking at something like $1,500 a month. You don't want to go pedal to the metal when you don't have some Vine reviews in and some other jazz. You know, you want to make sure Amazon's reading your listing right, so you're not going all in on day one, and you're seeing how this is going. So that's my answer to that when we try to calculate like how much does it take to actually get started selling on Amazon. Any pushback on that from anything? Anybody want to add in? Because I haven't added in like shipping into FBA costs, which is like a totally different thing than just shipping your products over here, whether it's from China or from your supplier. Anyone want to add anything?
I do have a question.
Yeah.
Pictures. Is there somewhere that you recommend for pictures?
Yep. Yeah, there's actually, I need to reach out to her to be a sponsor, but her name is Celine. You worked with her?
She didn't get
Okay.
Number?
Okay.
That's why I sent you the guy number, the guy.
Yeah.
Maybe his contact, yeah.
There's a woman named Celine. Who here has worked with Celine? Yeah. She had didn't I reach out to her and ask and then she responded back and still no response? I'm wondering if there's like, 'cause It happens, it happens.
She might be trapped.
Yeah, but even traveling, like on WhatsApp, you
Yeah, this
drop a
was
message.
a long time in between.
Yeah, yeah, okay, yeah. Well, she didn't respond. I'm gonna beat her up about that, but she's worked with a lot of people in here. I find her to be very cheap and very good. I've been saying that constantly, and she hasn't raised her prices, so we're good. Candace worked with somebody else who I think is local.
Yeah, he was amazing. I thought his prices were good. I don't really know what's like, it's my first go around.
Yeah.
Should I say like what?
You can say, you totally should.
So, I could show you the pictures and he gave me some for free too, and there was like I don't know, so it was $650 for like a couple of different ones, but when I tell you, like, I was thrilled and ecstatic with what he gave me. So that was my experience, and he lives right in Miami.
Yeah.
Like, I went to his house, dropped the product off, told him what I wanted.
I also feel remiss in saying this, and I need to get better at it, but because I always think of Share It Studio as just video.
Yeah.
Share It Studio also has another company who I think we got on
Right, I
here.
forgot, yeah, they did the box for me, and yeah,
I
I
see.
can tell you what it, you want me to tell you what it is?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
It is, where are they here?
Shared Studios is the name of another.
Yeah, Share It Studio is another one who's local. Rafa's a regular here. I need to update the ticker, but great as well. So a lot of options. If you're doing packaging, I recommend starting with AI nowadays to get some cool concepts together before going to a designer. Even packaging designers are kind of saying, like, use AI. Cool stuff. Amazon Accelerate, kind of a little side note. Amazon just had their event, which I avoid like the plague, but they make some announcements. One of the announcements is, I don't know if you guys have started seeing, but pretty much anything you want to do on Amazon now, their AI can create it for you, but full sets of images. You can actually set something up now in one of their betas that they will AI test your images throughout the day based on how people are searching. It's pretty wild.
It'll change the images throughout the day?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
The listing won't get shut down?
That's
wait, I don't, can you explain that? I don't know what you mean.
yeah. So it just rolled out, so nobody really knows everything about it. But Amazon, any of your titles, your images, all that, you can use Amazon's AI to create their videos. Pretty good.
So let's say I wanted to create a video on my listing, Amazon's AI can do it for
Yep.
me? And what if I don't like it?
Don't use it.
Are they gonna charge me just to show me?
Nope.
Really? And then I could put that in my listing?
Yep.
And then do you know like what it costs?
Nothing. You're paying $40 a month already.
Really?
Yep.
So if someone was gonna, let's just say, I don't remember the number, let's say someone would have charged me $500. Now I could get it for zero?
Well, let's make sure that the AI is doing as good as the person that's the thing. It just started
Right,
off.
right, that's the
It's
thing.
also not going to push limits like we push limits in the images. It's going to be very vanilla, very like Amazon terms of service. So,
Right.
but there's a place for it, I think. And I thought
Yeah.
it was a pretty cool call out. Tom,
So there's a new word coming out called agenic,
throw a mic
AI.
over to him.
which is, so it's called agenic AI, which is kind of what Amazon is doing. My question to you is, I know they have that agent in there, but I've also heard that they were going to help you with your listing and improve your keywords on the front end and the back end and make suggestions for your listing. Have you seen that or heard about that?
Yeah, I've seen it. I would be, the seller side of me gets terrified thinking of Amazon making any keyword recommendations. There's some areas where Amazon has good data and it'd be cool to get that data from them. I think the only thing that everyone who runs ads can agree on in the entire Amazon space is do not listen to Amazon's recommendation for keywords on the ads. It's,
Not on the ads, I'm talking about the listing itself.
but the keywords are going to affect the ads.
I got it.
Right, big time. So it's,
Is it really that important anymore?
the what?
Is it really that important anymore? I get it when you're indexing. But once you're indexed, Is it really that important to have those keywords?
Boy, they need to be somewhere.
I found that I've removed keywords.
Nope,
that-
throw on the mic if somebody.
I found that
No luck.
I've removed keywords that were important to me or are important to me, but I'm already indexed, I'm already in the position that I need to be, I can get them the hell out, and it doesn't really matter, right? So, now, if you're not indexed, absolutely, you need to make sure to understand what are the keywords that drive sales, what are the keywords with the best conversion rates, what are the keywords that you gotta put in the title versus the bullets versus this and that, but once you're indexed and you have a steady position somewhere, you can pretty easily remove a keyword and you'll be okay for the most part. I'm talking about the listing, not ads, right?
I mean, if it's still working fine for you, do it. I guess the concerns would be if you get de-indexed, you're gonna have to go through the whole process again and tweak everything to make it fit. I also think it depends on where you're removing it from and the importance of the keyword, because one thing is getting indexed and shown. The other one is once it's shown to a buyer, does this, you know, most people don't read. Do they need if they don't see a specific keyword anywhere on it, do they kind of get stuck and unsure? But
Yeah, I think it's a nightmare, and you do not want Amazon picking the keywords for you for PPC because they will absolutely drain you.
Yeah.
For sure. You do not
Rapidly.
want that. You do not want that. But the other one's more like, maybe, maybe not.
yeah, they will rapidly drain you.
There was also Opportunity Explorer, did you see that?
Yeah.
Where they can, Amazon's telling you where there's gaps in products to help you find products in certain niches. So kind of what you're doing today, like
Yeah.
finding out, obviously with the garlic press, probably not a lot of opportunity demand, but if there's something that, have you seen that yet, or?
I've looked at it, but there's like a Helium 10 version of that. There's a Jungle Scout version of that. I think using it to find products, I haven't found it to be the most effective thing to do to find products. And then once you do have that product, like if you're gonna use something, I think the thing right now to use would be Axio. Like if you're gonna use something like that, I'd say Axio's version of Opportunity Explorer would be better, because then if you do find something right there within Axio, you can say, oh, you know, what's the common materials that these have and what would be a cool substitute for it? And it can actually go in there, do it, and render it for you in real time.
Yeah, but I think what they were saying is that, like, let's say you wanted to do a left-handed broomstick.
Yeah.
And they were saying there's a huge demand and there's not a lot of sellers. So I think that's what I was getting at, is that you could actually, they can actually tell you where the product is for Opportunity Explorer.
Not bad. But look at, I think we're moving pretty fast into, like it's important to note that if you know this, but like, if you want to sell something on Amazon, there needs to be existing search for it. But there's starting to become a lot of cracks in that. The reason that has always been said is because it's to let people know, like, hey, there's nothing happening on Amazon that's going to help you drive awareness. It's not an awareness vehicle. Like there is existing search for something. I'm searching for this on Amazon. You find it, and if you serve that up because that's what you sell, you're great. Colin had a good one, and it says you have a toothbrush, you have your Sonic toothbrush, which is like a water blaster toothpick, and then you have a Bluetooth hands-free toothbrush, right? People search for toothbrushes, the one we all know. Shows up on Amazon. Problem is, everyone's got them, they're super competitive, not a lot of margin, costs too much for ads. You have to be a brand that somebody's looking for. Then you have that middle ground. This is a relatively unique thing here. It's got some good price margin on it. It's got a water pick. It's got all this other jazz onto it. We're in an area now that's cool on Amazon, and there's some search for water picks. This other one over here sells for more. There's even more margin, but have you ever searched for a Bluetooth hands-free toothbrush? I don't even know if that really exists. You haven't. So that is a horrible product for Amazon. Decent product for Shopify though, if it's assuming it's good, because the types of ads and the types of things you can do on the marketing side of things to drive traffic to Shopify is fantastic. And now once you have that, you're like, well, I have a lot of traffic and I have a lot of sales on my Shopify. Some of these people, they don't trust my Shopify. They're just gonna wanna go to the thing they trust and they have a Prime account on, and that's Amazon. So let me at least list my product over there. And all of a sudden you notice you start getting sales on Amazon. So you're getting external traffic sales from Shopify. They're buying, they're searching for your brand name. So you're ranking for your brand name and you're ranking for those relevant keywords associated with your brand name. But you couldn't have pulled that off just on Amazon. So that means to say Amazon is not an awareness vehicle. Like, it's not good for awareness, but there's begun to be cracks.
Let me validate that for you. So my first company that I started was in the baby market. And back then, everything for the baby bibs was baby, baby, baby. And I was like, I'm not gonna compete on this. There's no way, everything's baby. So my company created the toddler bib market. It never existed for toddler bib. And everything I did on the SEO side with Google, the website, outside of Amazon, was toddler bib. And then so that company moved to the first page ranking first, and that's what allowed the company to take off and compete on a global scale in toddler bib. Now if you go there, you see toddler bib everywhere.
Yep.
After that.
Yeah. So there was a product that I discovered, like every now and then I look for products that I'm like, it's usually a cross of two keywords that come together. In this one, we've all heard of creatine, and we've all heard of gummies. Shockingly, there was no search on Amazon for creatine gummies. None. Mr. Beast, who we've heard of, has somehow his team notices that there are no creatine gummies, comes up with Beast Bites, and now it's one of the most searched for things on Amazon. Creatine gummies. There's a bazillion competitors on there. So how was there no search and now there is search? Awareness. So that sort of thing was not possible, not too many years back. So what I'm saying is I can give you a lot of examples of those types of products. There's beginning to be cracks in whether Amazon is an awareness vehicle or not. They have a few ad types that are still in the infancy stage, but that are geared specifically towards growing awareness for a particular product. So one of the reasons I'm like, hey, TikTok is the one that's causing a lot of this to happen. You can get a bazillion followers or eyeballs on a product on TikTok, and you're gonna have a percentage of those people that are just like, I don't trust buying things on TikTok. They're gonna bail and they're gonna go to Amazon, and you're actually creating search. So you're creating a demand for something that didn't previously existed. So it's I forget where we got it. I'm really passionate about that particular topic. I think it's a fantastic idea for brands, and I think if you're thinking about that as how to launch products on Amazon in the future, you're gonna be leading the pack. So yeah. Anyhow, hope I didn't lose the thread and lose you guys too much. But that's an exciting topic for me.
Leading the pack, you're able to do something that's not searched and then create it and then.
It doesn't have to be that extreme, but let's say all that pretty much ties into, okay, let me try to make it not dumb it down. Let me try to make it simpler for my mind and everything here. Basically, what it comes down to, if your only lever for ranking a product on Amazon that is not a replenishable, have a built-in subscription to it, like chips or protein or toilet paper, something that people want to get more of, like on a regular basis, if it's a one-off knee brace, if your only lever to rank is going to be ads, my guess, with very few exceptions, in a year to year and a half, you're not going to have a profitable business. Some exceptions. Now, some of those exceptions could be, you have an existing Shopify stuff that's going on, you got other channels that are kind of feeding this, but you're not. I mean, Amazon cost per click in advertising it's not going to slow down. Like, it's going to keep getting higher, and there's only so much money you have to work with on an e-brace.
do you see PPC being a thing in 2 years, 2 to 5 years? Like, it's so expensive now, today, that it becomes where a model where it feels impossible to climb unless you're bringing in your own traffic.
I think PPC will stay a thing, but it won't be what it is now 100%. Like right now, some of you here have private label products. You're thinking about launching a private, unless you have a high ticket item.
Yeah,
There's,
okay.
that's still amazing territory to be in right now. If you're selling something that's in the 75 to 250 range, some of this stuff is probably not, you're like, I'm doing good. Most people are not selling products within that range. You're thinking that you're going to launch a product, rank, and be profitable on that round, and your only lever is Amazon PPC in your first round. It's not going to happen. It's not a lack of PPC skills. It's the way things are happening. Well, Axio, yes, ACCIO, Harry, Axio for sure. Oh, Janet and Gabby both not getting. Hey, Gabby. Hey, Janet. Let me finish this thread, and I get you. That's the way it is. First, and some of that. I'm not saying if it's your only lever on the second time around, you might not have some profits, but that first time around, you have a lot of upfront, one-time costs that are not going to exist on the second one. That first time around, really, really hard pressed. And that's where the ad costs are at now. If you can get into a model where you don't fully rely on Amazon PPC, you have social traffic, you maybe have some YouTube traffic, you have an email newsletter, you have other things that real businesses have been supposed to have had for all this time anyway. Like, if you have those things in place and you don't have to go all in on Amazon ads to try to rank and exist, then you're good. It still has a place, but it shouldn't be 100% of your marketing budget. Yeah, Tom?
No, as a launch strategy, what are your thoughts on using creator connections?
Yeah.
And then what, I mean, and I'm thinking as to, if I have a product, I want to
Yes.
get my quick,
That's been my answer for a few years now.
use creator connections. My question is, when a creator, like let's say Candace reaches back out to me, and I'm offering a 30% commission for her, and she says, hey, I want a free product, what kind of parameters would you want me to ask additionally? Like, for example, I know a lot of people that ask me to be a
model.
A model, of course. Like, what other social media handles do I have that they would push that out on the social medias? Do you see that as like a plus to it, or does it really?
You could, but it doesn't have to be more complicated than you use Creator Connect, which, by the way, Creator Connect is just a way to explode an email newsletter in a niche that you want for the purposes of today. But you're going to use Creator Network, and you're just going to position your product in the form of an ad. You might want to consider a lead magnet or some value asset, a course, free course, digital product, anything as the ad to get more people in, and then have those people on a separate email thread that's product related to what you're going to launch.
I'm sorry, you lost me.
So what brand are you cool mentioning so I could use it as an example?
I don't know, fertilizer.
Okay. So you have, you sell fertilizer for leaves and soil fertilizer.
Terrarium soil.
You sell leaves and soil fertilizer. You're an ass. Leaves and soil fertilizer. And you also have your email newsletter, which you have Dirty Gardener.
Yeah.
So you have the Dirty Gardener. You have people on it. People get the fertilizer. It might be valuable to know how much fertilizer should I put on X, depending on where I live and what time of the year. That's a calculator. You create it, Calconic, AI, whatever you want to do. So now in the Dirty Gardener newsletter, there's an ad placement. Two ways to do this. Ad placement for this calculator that solves world peace when it comes to fertilizer, right? And prevents disasters from happening in your plants or pests or whatever it does. People get it. They get put on an email that's not your email newsletter.
Okay.
And they're now receiving sequences that sell this, because they're like, these people are into this. Here's our sales email sequence on that. So that's one. The other one would just be show the product. You know, today's email newsletter is powered by, you know, air soil.
So those would be sending it to a different landing page that would trigger.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it would appear in your very active, highly trafficked newsletter
Right.
that you built off of Creator Network. And while that's going on, you're like, okay, I have a launch coming for this new fertilizer. So you're able to look at your publishing schedule for your email newsletter and say, okay, here are the dates where this is the ad placement. While that's going on, you're also looking at the different influencers on Creator Blueprint or Your First Dollar, and several months out, you're gearing them up for what's coming, and you have their videos and you're approving them and you're paying them, or you have their videos and you're like, I want you to start posting them around X date. So as soon as everything starts coming out, it's happening at the same time. In that scenario, you don't need to go as all in using Amazon PPC,
Yep.
right?
Got it.
Because you have a whole bunch of different things coming. Yeah.
Okay.
Main idea have a whole bunch of different things coming.
Yeah, but it doesn't have to be, it shouldn't, if you've never heard of this, it's like, oh my God, like what have I done? But it's not that complicated,
No.
right? It's,
With AI, definitely not.
oh God.
No. Let's be honest. You can
Take
use
the mic from,
ChatGPT to-
oh, he doesn't have the mic, it's safe. Go ahead, yes.
You can use ChatGPT to structure the ideas. Oh, I need a newsletter.
Yeah.
I need a course. Okay, how do I make a course? Blah 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 blah. And,
Right.
and come down with ideas of all
And-
the things you need to do.
Yeah, and if AI seems intimidating or you want an extra set of eyes, we talk about that stuff all the time here, between a YouTube meetup, between course creation stuff, we talk about all that. So like, Ramon's about to create one, or you just created one?
Finish scripting. I just got
Right.
before now.
We do that, everyone else does that, like, it's just questions that you can ask. It doesn't have to be something that you get lost on the web. Cool. What else was there? So that was from a question. Did you ask that question? Who asked that question?
There was a-
Was it Candace? Candace set off that firestorm?
This?
Can they use the mic? Yeah, they're using the mic, Peter. Ramon was a little bit away from the mic. Tom wasn't paying attention. All right, so if you do not have that budget to start a PL, well, let me take a step back. Some of you, I hate some of that, sounds horrible. Sometimes we, or like the best way to sort of diversify or make sure that this PL that we're going to launch doesn't do bad is to get multiple PLs, so different SKUs, right? And you're like, oh, I'm going to take advantage of consolidated shipping. Here's the problem with that. If you're doing that from a budget side of things, you can't get the same ad budget that might have been low to begin with and then dilute it across multiple products. That's going to compound the problem. So I was saying, man, it'd be good if you could be at 5K. A few of you gave me a look like, you crazy, right? So maybe you're at the 1,500, maybe you're at the 1,000. At one product, it's like, okay, like let's put together something and set expectations of what the next few months could look like so you understand like what success looks like in this scenario. But now if you add 3 products and you need to divide that by 3, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Like you're gonna be running out of budget on everything. You're not gonna be able to run certain ad types. So don't make that mistake. But so if you don't have the budget to pull PL off at the 30 to 50 range that I said, the best thing to do and the easiest thing to do, and you're actually going to be profitable quicker, is to go the Creator Connect route. Creator Network. Sorry, not Creator Connect, Creator Network route. If you look online, Creator Network Kit.
It's good.
Yeah. Or Kit Creator Network, whatever you want. And all it is pretty much saying you're going to launch a brand of water, canned water, and he decides, I'm going to go to Creator Network Kit, and you're going to look for other newsletters on that network that maybe have to do with runners against microplastics, you know, because he's got canned water, I don't know. And all these newsletters exist, and they're massive, and you just connect your newsletter to theirs and be willing to pay like 10 cents per subscriber that comes over from that big massive email list to yours. And the way they come over is every time somebody opens that big massive list from the Runners Against Bioplastics, a dialog box that says, if you love this newsletter, you're really going to love these. Okay? For the purposes of today, that's what happens. They're like, yes, I do. Every time somebody comes over and double opts in, you pay a small fee, depending on the fee size, depends on the category and the newsletter. And then you rapidly grow your email newsletter. That's it. Now you have something you can launch to. So like that would be the easiest way to do it. And what you're doing in the meantime now is you're growing an email newsletter in the niche that you want to get into. You should rapidly grow the newsletter, and you're going to get to a spot now where you could say, okay, I no longer need X amount of Amazon PPC budget because I now see what I can get in sales on this email newsletter, and then you strike and launch your product because now you're within budget. If you do have any questions on that, no. If you,
Does the newsletter have to be about your product or just pass on to somebody else's product?
it shouldn't be about any product. It should be about a category or a cause. So like, are you able to say any of your product or give an example product?
Kids makeup.
Kids makeup.
What problem are you solving? That's what you should question, the cost of your newsletter.
Okay, let's try that. What problem does kids makeup solve? And is it kids makeup, or is it boys makeup and girls makeup, or just girls makeup for kids? 2025, I gotta ask.
I mean, you have girls on there, but it's kids makeup.
That's interesting.
So toy, it's like a toy, right?
It's a toy, not real makeup.
It's like real makeup, but it's a toy.
Kids friendly.
It's
It
kids.
doesn't have a lot of.
Right, now, I feel like I'm on a landmine, like, so I'm gonna try to tiptoe on this. No, I'm saying this because we had somebody in the group who created a beauty product, and they decided they wanted to appeal to more people, and they made it gender neutral in color. And the thing is, when you go to sell a beauty product, you don't want it to be gender neutral. That's a great way to die. Because you want to appeal and speak to somebody clearly so you can sell it. So I'm just asking only from that point of view, not whether boys or girls should use makeup. The packaging and how you position the listing and create the listing, if you make a kids makeup product,
It feels more feminine. It has girls.
okay, if it was that, I would recommend, unsolicited advice, that you make it like laser focused clear on the gender of the kid you want to go after, and then let the parent kind of decide. And I hope I'm not overstepping anything, only because yes, you will lose some of them that might want to get just because you showed both, but the percentage is going to be so low compared to what you could do versus the reverse. Right now, I've seen it have some pretty bad backlashes on products, but I don't know enough about you. Sure. Okay, so it's kids makeup, so it's for fun. So I would say kids having fun. There's a whole bunch of newsletters out there about kids having safe fun. You'd go to Creator Network Kit and you'd look for kids or fun kids, play, family. You'd look for that and you're going to find, I mean, that category has thousands of newsletters.
So the newsletter is not my newsletter.
Oh, I'm sorry.
It's typing on-
I got thrown because my mind went down there. So what you're going to do is you're going to create a newsletter about kids fun, or Ramon's going an angle of he wants the family unit to move away from the TVs and electronic screens and instead sit down and play board games
Right.
and play together. This is playtime. So
Off the screen.
old school, right, off screen, old school playtiming. You're going to create a newsletter around that. And if it was strictly girls focused, it could be a mommy and me newsletter. So you'd create a newsletter with that being the topic, which would allow you to have anything that is related to that space be something that could make you money, whether it's via affiliate commissions on that newsletter, sponsors, anything like that. So pretty much any product moving forward every week when you published that was on Amazon, that was a lightning deal or something like that, that was specific to a kid product off electronic screens, you could have it featured as an ad, and every single newsletter that goes out, you're making money off affiliate commissions. So like, you want to turn this into something that's generating money and that's rapidly gaining new followers. So, because at one point you're going to put your product out there in front of them, but you don't want the newsletter to be about your product or your brand name. Bruce, you were asking something? No? Does that?
So the newsletter is from other people, and I'm just putting my product into their newsletter.
Oh, both. I'm recommending in this stage, if you don't have the budget to do it, that you create your own. But even if you're creating your own, you're going to connect to other people's newsletters, so you can use their active newsletters with followings to get their followers to also read yours. But since you can see what those...
So I would have to come up with content.
Yeah, you'd come up with content, AI would come up with content. You pretty much just could find 4 or 5 email newsletters in your space, and if you drink coffee, by the time, if you read each one of them while you were drinking your coffee in the morning, you'd have an unlimited bank of content that you could talk about. You could literally do a reaction email to somebody else's email. So there's like no shortage of, content's never gonna be the problem. And it's faceless, so no video, anything like that. And when it comes to creating content with AI, the written word is probably the easiest one for it to create. So you have a lot of assistance there.
And where do these email addresses come
From other people's emails. So like,
from? That I would have to generate, or these already exist?
no, so like let's say there's 2 email newsletters out there, and one of them is a Mommy and Me, and another one is best mobile phone games only. You'd look at that and see like, well, one of them doesn't have the people that I want on my list, because that's mobile phone games, I want people off, so you're gonna ignore that one. This other one has 10,000 people on their list, and that's Mommy and Me. So you're like, okay, I think Mommy and Me is going to be it has 10,000 people on there, that would be perfect for my email newsletter. And you're just going to make a connection between them. And when people are reading their Mommy and Me newsletter, they're going to get greeted with a dialog box and saying, you know, if you love this newsletter, you're really going to love this other one. And then they're going to say, yeah, you're right, I do. They're going to subscribe, and then they join yours.
Is your product already launched yet?
No, it's in waiting.
Okay, just be aware that anything you put on a kid or a baby, you may end up having to get a safety data sheet from Amazon.
You 100% will.
Yeah, so just understand that there is a little bit of a, I don't know what that costs, but there are certain people that will give that safety data sheet to Amazon. So just be aware that that's an extra cost and a little bit extra hurdle, but I like those. So that means to me that if there's more hurdles, there's more costs, and other people are like going away from it, that's when I want to dive in. So,
Right.
yeah.
Which is where I'm at, because even Walmart is pulling products away, because not everybody has,
Certificates,
Certificate,
safety
right.
data sheets that are child safety, et cetera. Yeah.
right, which for a lot of people, that's now
Pass the mic.
a distraction, right? Because Walmart is now pulling away products, because people don't have the certificates that they needed. For me, it's more of, oh, this is where I want to be, because I know how to go and get those lab tests. I know how to go and get those certificates, where other people would be like, no, that's too much of a hassle. I don't want to be in there.
Yeah, people that see a hassle or that they see an expense in terms of getting a certificate,
Yeah.
they run away, which means more opportunity for you.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's how I think of it
Good.
too, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's good advice. So if you don't have the budget, this is the good news in this part. If you don't have the budget, I think you should start, cheapest way to start is that way. What you're gonna find is that in 6 months, you're probably gonna be in a much better, depending on what your starting budget was to begin with, but you're gonna be in an excellent position to start your private label. You're gonna be in a much stronger position than had you attempted to do it before. You're gonna have your own launch list that you're gonna be able to launch with. You're gonna be much less reliant on PPC. The biggest threat you have in there is you may consider not getting into physical products. Because you may look at this and say, I'm pulling in $1,500 to $2,500 a month clear, or more, doesn't have to be limited to that, off affiliate plays and like all this other stuff. I'm adding a whole bunch of value to the world of the email. That's the biggest threat and risk that you have in that scenario, and there's nothing wrong with that. So you have more options.
I wish if I was starting all over again, I started with an email newsletter first, so I could get 10,000 people that were interested in my niche, then launch on Amazon, and then tell all these people on the newsletter, hey, check out this new makeup, and now I can help launch my sales with it, right? That's kind of the idea behind it. And the newsletter may sound complicated, but I think if you set it up correctly, you can give yourself a good 4 or 5 weeks in advance of this newsletter, and using some of the tools Carlos tells you, that you can use other people's newsletter lists to grow it pretty quickly. And I've grown about 2,000 members on one newsletter in less than 30 days. So it can happen pretty fast with this Kit and SparkLoop thing. So think about that before you launch any product. I'd love to have a database of people that are possible buyers for me, so I'm not relying on just spending ads. Sending an email is free. So
But you had to pay for that list.
I paid for some of the list, but it's been offset by the money that I'm bringing back in from people that opt into other
Right.
newsletters. So it's offsetting it. Yeah.
On your newsletter, how often do you add new content or post? I think that's the question that most people have, Tom, maybe you should break that down, because the reality is, everybody's freaking out over the fact that they have to create content, and it's not hard. The problem is, we have this wall in front of us, and we think, this is the hardest thing ever. The moment you break down that wall, you realize it's really not that hard to create content.
It's significantly harder to source products and do everything you already know how to do. It's just a new concept.
I mean, you have an amazing friend in ChatGPT that could also give you topics to write on for kids. You know, give it verticals and say, what would mommy and me typically do? You know, and just have it write articles. Or you can go on places like, I found Flipboard, FLIP board, go on there and type in mommy and me or activities forum. You'll see all kinds of other people that have written articles. I'm not telling you to copy their articles, but you can copy them. And you can say, ChatGPT, rewrite this with this twist, or rewrite this as if told by, I don't know, Captain Kangaroo, I'm dating myself, or Martha Stewart, or something like that. And it'll rewrite the articles for you. And then what I first started doing is I created 15 newsletters. So that was 3 articles inside of each one, and then some kind of, I don't know, curated list of things that were relevant to my space. These are the best 5 things for a mommy to do, or for a daughter to do, etc. Those things are hard, though. Once you create those are set in your newsletter going forward. So once you create your header, your footer, and those things that are stable, the only thing you're really adding in are those blogs. And then what I do is I just have my virtual assistant copy and paste them and say, create me a really unique title and 2 sentences. So it's like, this is what mommies and daughters should do on the weekends, the 5 best things. And it just has 2 sentences to it. And if they want to read more, it goes to my website. Once I power bank 15 newsletters, and I'm going to send it out 3 times a week, that's what I decided to do. Now I've got 5 weeks to kind of chill out and relax a little bit. So I've built 15. Happy to share with you everything I've done so that it makes it easy and seamless for you, but it's not that big of a lift as opposed to getting the certificates. I mean, this is nothing compared to that. So it's not that hard to get going. So I just think banking them before you publish them, that's the whole key. Bank them, I'm secure, I'm ready to go. It may take me a couple weeks to get them up and running, but then I have my newsletter off and running. If that makes sense.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So now here's the kicker. Let's say you do have the budget now. So that was pretty much if you don't have the budget, but let's say you do have the budget and you're just getting in. I still think the easiest way for you to start, even if you have the budget, is the email newsletter to start, for the same reasons we just said. But the good thing to consider either way, whether you have the budget or not, is for many people, you had an idea that you were going to start, you knew the category you were going to get into for quite some time before you got into it. A lot of you knew the category you wanted to get into with private label, but felt you didn't have the budget, rightfully so got into arbitrage and then wholesale. And you had all this stuff going on and you're working these different businesses and side hustles and all these different things until you could get to the point where you could actually launch this thing that you wanted to launch anyway. And for like nothing on the dollar, you could have started this community, this newsletter and everything way ahead of time so that a year, 2 years, 3 years later, when you actually started, you'd have this asset sitting there. You could launch anything the heck you wanted in the category.
In this category.
In this particular category. But you don't need to even have a product to do this. So even if you have the budget, you should still do it.
How do you determine when it's enough? You know, like obviously there's unengaged subscribers.
Somebody throw the mic to him.
How do you determine when enough subscribers is enough on your email newsletter? Unengaged, yeah, those don't count. You have 10,000 unengaged subscribers, that's meaningless. Medium engaged, highly engaged subscribers, like, is 100 highly engaged subscribers enough? 1,000, 10,000, like that's the one part where I go like, okay, so I am going to create an email newsletter that is going to really target the pain points of my demographic, where I am going to serve them this product that I think it's going to work out, right? At some point, I'm going to want to launch this product to them or the next product. How do you determine what's enough? That's the part where I'm...
For categories that are not baby, pseudo-medical, supplement, or coffee, tea type of thing, 100 highly engaged email subscribers is usually more than enough to pull off a launch.
Like 100 people that you email them and you go like, I'm launching tomorrow, go buy it. And that's enough.
You never want to do that.
Obviously.
For the sake of this conversation, it's 100. And yeah, that's it. You don't even need to nowadays with the way people are accustomed, the way email newsletter consumers, which is a totally different. How many people here buy email products off of newsletters? Right, I do. It's a small percentage of people that actually do. And I think that's the biggest problem sellers have in adopting this, because you're like, I don't buy off email newsletter. Who the hell are these people? You know, half the time everyone says email's dead. It's most people. How many people here buy on Instagram? Or have bought on Instagram, right? But nobody here is challenging that stuff on Instagram sells. How many people have purchased products on TikTok? How many people have purchased products on Amazon? That's why you don't have an issue when we talk about selling on Amazon. The thing is, it's a much smaller percentage of people that buy off of email, but it's still a massive number that do. The problem is when you run a meta ad and you get someone on your email list, the likelihood that they got on your email list for the freebie or for the calculator or for the WooBox contest that I used to do is more than likely just for that freebie that they could have gotten, or that free product, or the bit of information, or the PDF, or the ebook, or whatever. Not that they consume content and purchase via email. The power of Creator Network is that these are people that are highly engaged. This is where those people hang out. These are the people that do consume content via email. They are very engaged. They do buy their products. They do hire consultants. They do this business on email. I like to think they're smarter too, because I'm one of those people, but no. But then Tom debunked that, because you said but that's where those people hang out. So it's 100. Yeah, it's 100. How many people here buy off Shopify sites?
Yeah.
Right, but it seems like the same percentage on Instagram. That's the only reason there's so much friction in your head, regardless. Right? I could talk all day about how to, if I said I'm going to show you how to launch a supplement. You know supplements are hard. You know that, you know everything. You know, you've heard me say it repeatedly how like difficult they are to launch, how expensive they are. But more of you would probably turn up to something on that than how to grow an email newsletter, because you've bought on Amazon before, right? That's the only thing. But it's 100. It's about 100 subscribers, 100 active subscribers, which is probably, if you get your subscribers off of Kit, probably 300 to 500 people on your list.
But one of the other things you can do with this email newsletter is you have their email. So it doesn't mean that you can only send them an email newsletter. You can send them a special on your product that's for sale on Amazon. So, you know, if you're sending them 3 newsletters, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and on Tuesday and Thursday, you can send them, one of them can be about your product, or one of them can be about your competitor's product, or one of them could be about a tool or something that you want to sell and you make an affiliate from. So it could be newsletter, your product, newsletter, a tool of some kind, newsletter. And those little fillers in there will help drive your sales at some point.
What's interesting about what he's saying is that, so I was doing a social media course, and part of the social media course is building a calendar with emails, where you have like newsletters, part of it, right? Like with TikTok Shop, and we were talking about TikTok Shop. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, oh, is that what they're talking about, where you build this newsletter and then part of it is tying it into like TikTok? And then that's how you would build also part of your views and your following. And so it kind of just all works together,
Yeah.
which I never understood. That's how they were getting the newsletter before.
Yeah, email
Trying to
has
build.
always been for me the only platform that I highly invest in building on because it's yours. You can be deplatformed from anything else out there. You can get your Amazon account suspended. Your merchant on Shopify can shut you down. Your YouTube channel, you can be blocked. Everything else can be deplatformed. Building on Meta, Meta has shown that they will take you down. They shut her down for days from posting. Nobody stops your email, right? Those are your people. That's the only thing you kind of own. That's why I've always been so bullish on email. And for a long time, the only thing I don't like about this creator network thing is for a long time everyone has been saying his email's dead, and you couldn't pay somebody to start an email. But now I think every business is going to have an email newsletter, and rightfully so. But yes, you have a strong email newsletter. Everyone's like, oh my God, I think Gabby and a few Gabby, Ting, and who else on the stream was Janet, struggling to get their followers on TikTok, but they're getting views. Well, you know what? One of your email newsletters could have a feed, your 10,000 person thing, and you could just send once.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you have this highly robust social platform with a whole bunch of real people. You were ready for that. So you have the types of content ready that's going to start being posted so they have something to engage with. It's very powerful. And you're like, you know what? Twitter is impossible. You got to have a Twitter one in like 4 months so you can actually grow these platforms in a meaningful way. Send the signals that these platforms want, but it all stems from like the central nervous system of your business, which is email.
Right.
This group's not going to turn into an email group, but it's important if you want it to be an Amazon group, we need to be profitable. And the only way you're going to, in my opinion, that we're going to stay highly profitable and be able to control the directions of our business on Amazon is first to be thinking beyond just Amazon, especially if we're brand owners. And the other one is we need to be able to control the traffic that we're sending. Otherwise, they're going to be unprofitable. And I don't know how many Saturdays you're going to come if you're unprofitable.
So is it consensus to, while advertising the product, send them straight to Amazon to buy? Because of the confidence?
You could. You totally could, because Amazon, if you tried to send it to a Shopify page from the email newsletter, right? If you tried to send them to like a Shopify page, there still is that lack of trust. Or you can have a beautiful looking Shopify page, but most people who create Shopify sites don't understand. I mean, it's an art when
it's
it.
not worth the risk, just send them to Amazon.
You send them to Amazon.
Confidence is there.
Yeah. What you want to do is you want to, the perfect recipe for a sale is trust, is scarcity, is, God, what is this? It's not time sensitivity, it's, there's scarcity, and then there's, well, there's price,
And reviews.
social validation, all that. Amazon has that built on every single product detail page. And if you throw in a kicker like a promo or a lightning deal that has a timer going on, which is, Jesus Christ, why am I blanking on this basic term? But you throw all that in, you have the perfect recipe for a sale. And now Amazon gives you Amazon attribution, so you could test 10 different emails with a different Amazon link on each one of them going straight to your Amazon and see which one actually converted better. So the next time you do it, you can use that same one. So like Amazon gives you that information now. So I would much rather just send it to Amazon. Yeah. You know, what you just mentioned, which is a really good call out there. Let's say in one of your email newsletters, you decided we're going to go boost up what we have going on TikTok. So or your Instagram, let's do Instagram, and you got your Instagram going great. You now can have activities happening on Instagram that's driving its own traffic, and maybe that Instagram stuff you send to your Shopify, right?
And then people will subscribe also.
And they will subscribe,
And you can
correct.
build it.
So now next thing you know, you're sitting here and you're like, oh my God, how did this happen? How do I have 5 social platforms that are actually working and they're actually sending traffic? And you're an overnight success, and it all stemmed, the easiest path to start doing that is gonna be email. And it's actually the least complicated of everything we've talked about today. Sourcing from China, softwares, all that. It is the easiest way to start a private label, start a private label brand. Remember, you have technically started a private label brand as soon as you started your email. You don't officially become a private label, entering into private label once you have a container of sunk cost.
I know this is not an email group, but are you gonna bring some sort of,
We are.
somebody to present that actually has done it?
Yeah, that'll be me.
That'd be great, like Nate or somebody else,
Definitely not Nate.
definitely not Nate.
No. I plan on presenting on specific, like the actual email and stuff like that. I just
Yeah,
don't know.
like strategies, not only how to grow it, but like how to make it profitable. You can make email.
One of the things we're doing is we spent a good deal of time, and we're gonna spend more, is in that PL Accelerator that I'm doing. Like, we can actually sit down and go over some stuff there. You have the alumni groups, which we're gonna be doing a lot more in that. But we will be doing something out here in the meetups. I just don't know if it's gonna be better in the form of a workshop. I struggle to see how, like, we talked a lot about email today. I don't think any of you are ready to leave and go build your email newsletter, though. You still have a whole bunch of questions. So I feel like if we have a 3 to 4 hour thing on email that's all theory, you're just gonna leave with more information in your head, but you're not actually gonna do it. So I think it's gonna make more sense to do it as a workshop, and then not to make excuses or like, woe is me, but to put together a workshop. Everyone wants to come in here, we wanna have some emails going on. What does that mean? It means before you come in here for that workshop, you already needed to have your Creator Network, your Spark Glue, you have to have a whole bunch of things set up so that we can make use of the time that's actually here. So that means I need to set up some pre-email stuff and some pre-rec. So it's a bit more complicated so that it could be impactful. The good news is once we do it, we can repeat it a lot. But I do have that in the pipeline of things that I would like to do. And then is that better taught in a course, or is it better taught in a once every 3-4 months? We do it here. So that's the rub. Yeah. Cool. We pushed up on time, but ironically, the reason I thought this was going to be a good topic is that, ironically, whether you have the budget or you don't have the budget, the easiest way to get started right now is starting, I would say, with Creator Network specifically, and SparkLoop to build that email list to get started. It's just going to make your launch more profitable. It's going to allow you to have a lower side of budget. It's going to allow you to get started quicker. And thank God, all of your competitors out there in all these Facebook groups, they're not talking about this stuff. They're just talking about, you know, what agency you should hire that does this cool hack on ads, or some other BS hack for ranking products and whatnot. So it should give you it should let you get ahead of your competitors on Amazon and save you a bunch of money, which I see as and set you up stronger for the future for your brand, which I think is a great spot to be in. Yeah? Any questions? Nope.
When you switch into different category, let's say, so you create completely new project for newsletters, right?
Mm-hmm. If you switch into another category?
Yeah, let's say you're like, your newsletters are about like food, healthy food, and then you switch into like kids makeup. You cannot use the same email list, right? You need to create brand new project for that, right? Or you can try, but
I'll use a recent one that I'll give credit to because he took action on it and did it. One of my business partners, Andres, we have the Salsa Kings brand. We talked for a while about how we could get into, I mean, it's a massive community and email list. But we talked for a while about how, like, if you had a massive, I'd say the largest salsa community in the world on our email list is our brand, Salsa Kings. But like, what are the different directions you'd go? So one of the obvious ones is dance accessories, shoes and socks and all this other jazz. And the other one's, email newsletter. But you don't want to do the email newsletter about how to do a specific move in dance, right? So we're like, what are the main, this is like the brainstorming things that I'm doing, like what are the main reasons that somebody gets into dance for salsa? Well, ironically, the vast majority of them is not, like 99% is not to go on Dancing with the Stars, right? And you want to take a guess as to why 99% of people,
Pick up.
because you're single.
Pick up chicks or save a marriage because you need a date night.
Yes, it is to meet people, right? If you privately, we ask the guys, and the guys are like, hook up. If you ask the women, it's meet interesting people. Second place is good exercise. That's not your typical going to the gym. The next one is rekindling, the flame in the relationship, and then it's good exercise, followed by I just got out of a relationship and lost all the friends that I had because they kind of went with that side of the breakup. So that's what we looked at. Okay, what kind of product what kind of content do we need to create here that's going to be good? So relationship stuff, rekindling the relationship, sex, that's an easy email newsletter to find, and not the direction you guys are thinking, but like the topic itself. Then the other thing, when you're looking at the email list, and you got to give credit to Andres for this, Andres was like, I was like, well, maybe the way you do that is, neither Andres or I want to be at doing a speed dating networking event at night somewhere in Miami, but we're looking at like what would be a networking event thing that we can do to get together a bunch of people that are naturally, we know, going to be of a different sex, and just kind of let nature take its course. And it's like business related. So for a while we explored, so what does that mean? Do I look at the Wizards of Ecom side and say, we're doing this weird mix of speed dating between Wizards of Ecom and salsa all in Miami? It didn't make sense. So then he's looking into it, and we realize that the emails in this list, we can see who are business owners on our Salsa Kings list. Well, you could see what's a business email. Like, he filtered it. He just had his first event, I think it was last month. It was fantastic. So, why did I get into this thread? Like we were getting somewhere. Like, a different category. So, I just showed you one email list from one thing, and there's several categories buried within that weren't so obvious. So you're in a healthy food email list, and you decide you're going to get into what? Give me an example.
You said it's
Motorcycle stuff.
Motorcycle stuff.
Yeah.
It technically could be male or female. I'm going to risk getting attacked here. I'm going to say it's predominantly male. Yeah. I would make sure that your email list was segmented by male, female. And I would probably hit up the males here. Like, I know you like the type of content we're talking about here, this and that, and I know this isn't a perfect fit, but I decided to create X. So you're going to get some of them.
So, but you create a separate email list just with.
Well, to Tom's point earlier, just because you have an email list,
Yeah.
you're sending them an email newsletter. That's what they've given you permission to do. You can't abuse that, but you can reach out to them with other emails and offers that you have every now and then. So in this case, you're reaching out to the men, letting them know you have this male motorcycle thing that you're going to be talking about, or anybody who's interested, and a little bit about your email. You're going to get some just from that. And there's some built-in trust that you already have. They like your writing style. They like how you've respected their inbox. Like, you're going to get some. That's a pretty big jump, motorcycle from health, but you still would get some. So I would look at that list, especially if you have a big one, to see like what there can come over.
I think probably there's a way to capture specific data such as sex.
Yeah.
age. That would probably help with filtering.
Yep. Yeah, you want to do that from almost the beginning of your email list to get to get stuff like that. Spark Loop, Gabby. I believe you're in the next accelerator too. We have some really good links that I'll be able to send out that'll give you some discounts. Or if you want to reach out to me ahead of time, you can, and I'll send them to you. Or if I'm reading it wrong and you're not in the accelerator, just reach out to me either way, and I can send it to you. Yeah, or anybody, feel free. Or I'll send a follow-up email to everybody with some links that you can get. They're affiliate links. They'll get more empanadas. It's not why I'm recommending it, but it'll give you a deal, and we might go to guava and cheese next time. All right, any other questions? No? All right, thank you. Okay, let me.
Yeah, well, I'm working on a bot for you. I'm gonna make a video for you in a second. I'm gonna just wait for the load. I did some things with,